been living with HIV since 1995. During those days, it was terrible because we didn't have assistance like we have right now from America. But now I'm okay, I'm living happy, I'm taking my drugs every day.
This is Donald G. McNeil Jr. reporting from Uganda. Every member of the stigmaless band is HIV positive. Antiretroviral drugs paid for by the United States and other donors are keeping them alive. But the battle against AIDS in the Third World is beginning to fall apart. Millions have been saved, but the money is running out. While middle-income countries like India and Brazil may be able to save themselves, the future here in the heart of Africa looks bleak.
I found out I was HIV positive after I started falling sick. My husband had died some time back. After he died, I started falling sick and went to the hospital.
Dinavance Kamukama came to stay with her cousins in Kampala, hoping to get free treatment. Her kidneys are failing. She's so weak she can barely walk. Her time is running out. But the hospitals here, even the one where her cousin works, can't take on any new patients.
When they tested her, they found she was HIV positive, and they told us to go for what? ARVs. But they could not provide them. And when you move around the clinics, they need what? They need money, which is not there.
Donors pay for 90% of drugs in poor countries. Almost all are bought through PEPFAR, which was set up by the Bush administration, or through the Global Fund, which is international. But the Global Fund is having trouble raising money, and the Obama administration is concentrating its foreign aid for health on problems that are cheaper to treat, like malaria, pneumonia, and diarrhea. More lives may be saved for those taxpayer dollars, but it means PEPFAR's budget is no longer growing. Uganda has been hit hardest, ironically because it did such a good job of getting lots of patients on treatment quickly. It's the first country in Africa to reach its limits. It will not be the last. Dr. David Apuli, Uganda's top AIDS official, divides the epidemic in Africa into 4 decades. The first was death everywhere. In the second, drugs were discovered, but only available in rich countries. The third, coming up to the present, was the decade of hope. Donors stepped in and made drugs available across the continent. How the fourth will be remembered is being defined today.
You're seeing in Uganda the tip of the iceberg of what we expect to see in the countries. It is a dilemma in this 4th decade. For all of us, we are in Uganda, the American people, the global people. What do we do?
Money is not the whole problem. Science has failed too. No AIDS vaccine is on the horizon, nor is a microbicide, nor is a female condom that women will accept. And people have also failed. Not enough are practicing A, B, C. Abstain, be faithful, use a condom. Or the new 4th C, circumcision. For every 1,000 people put on drugs, 2,500 are getting infected.
In spite of people seeing a lot of people dying and a lot of suffering with AIDS, people have kept on, they have not changed their behavior. And that's why they are still dying of HIV/AIDS.
At the Bwindi Community Hospital on Uganda's mountainous border, the drugs didn't arrive until 2007. But in 3 years, the hospital has gotten them to thousands of the local people, even into pygmy settlements. But now they're running out.
I think we have to give antiretrovirals to people. We have a moral necessity, really, to give life-saving drugs that are available to people who need them. But you do wonder what's going to happen if these drugs get stopped, because from a sort of medical point of view, there'll be problems with resistance, huge problems with drug resistance, so that if they ever get started again, we'll have double problems, really.
Worldwide, the numbers are grim. About 33 million people are infected with HIV. After a Herculean effort by donors, led by the United States, only about 4 million are on treatment. Even under optimistic fundraising projections, by 5 years from now, only about 10 million will be treated. That's not nearly enough. New research shows that treating everyone as early as possible could lower infection rates, But that idea is frighteningly expensive.
It is very sad that people have to choose what should or should not kill patients. You can't say AIDS is killing patients, but it is expensive death. Therefore, we are going to prevent cheap deaths. I don't think this is a humanitarian approach or acceptable to humanity.
Meanwhile, Dina Vance and her family, knowing what a long wait for treatment could mean, find strength in their faith.
This should have been planned, really. It's not as if we suddenly realised, oh, it doesn't just cure in a couple of years. We actually need to treat these people for 30 years. You know, we knew that. We knew that.
Reporting from Uganda, this is Donald G. McNeil Jr. for the New York Times.